These pyramids the Serpent races used to not only access their underground caverns systems but also as waypoints for hyperdimensional jumps, much like what's depicted on the movie Stargate. 213 PAGE. Earth has a history of great cataclysms that not only put many of the pyramids underwater but also removed their capstones. The Earth itself is a cleansing mechanism that seems to activate approximately every 12,600 years. During these times the Earth is inundated with water or scorched by fire. Many of the members of the Serpent races during these times simply burrow deeper into the ground towards the center of the Earth in order to escape the damage that is wreaked on the surface. Even as this is being written, deeper tunnels are being constructed to house more underground facilities due to the fact that the Earth is currently due for another cleaning. 214 PAGE. Reason 160 The pyramids are everywhere not because it was just a popular style. This was the pattern of construction given by the Serpent races in order to allow energy to be harnessed, developing working portals that could transport more than one being or person. When the stars realign, the feathered serpents known also as Pendragon Quetzalcoatl will return to this dimension to escalate chaos. If you remain, you must be spiritually equipped to fend them off. Basically, the elite members of a 1A1 haplogroup such as Serbs, Poles, Slavs, Goths, Ashkenaz, and many others have sealed their fate in being servants of the Dark Lord. They see themselves as creations of the Dark Lord and are awaiting the lineup for the return. They believe they will morph into the same type of creature the Dark Lord is and will commence to the feast upon flesh. No matter how sick and sadistic this may sound, this is the backbone of their belief in the Old Ones. The entire structure built on duality, it is scheduling its next showdown or Armageddon within the next year and a half. This is an age-old battle that existed before our consciousness evolved, so we have little internal memory of our role in all of this. The Darksiders have however accepted their role, sealed their fates, and are willing servants. 215 PAGE. Reason 161 Time travel is a thing of the past, lol. It has already been discovered and is in constant use. Disinformation has tried to make us believe the pyramids were tombs, and it is true many wanted to be buried in the pyramids to ensure their soul would have no problem making the trip into their next existence, memory intact. Your next existence for us is supposed to be ethereal, not taking on another physical body. What a drag. This has been happening since the elite have been manipulating this technology and using it to hold souls in stasis. The Earth is a fail-safe due to the type of beings that are living on and inside of it. Because many races do not get along for reasons that I will explain next, planets tend to go through many wars. A large set of visitors came from the Sirius star system, better known as the Dog Star. To understand how these races have become more advanced than humanoid Earthlings is a matter of one. Their star systems in distance, which is time, have been around light years longer than ours, and life has developed similar to the way we are now evolving on their worlds but much earlier. 2. Just as you may see an insect go through an entire metamorphosis phase within the span of only 1 month, while it may take a human several lifetimes to go through that same genetic leap, some beings evolve faster than others, especially when they are unhindered. A word on time. The English language does work twofold. When not knowing what the words really mean, it does begin a sequence of mind control. On the other hand, when knowing what the words mean, it puts you in the loop of secrets. It is obvious that we should exist outside of time. This is immortality. The mistake many magicians have made when being offered immortality is not considering these two things. 1. We are already immortal, and if we were not purposely made to forget that profound fact, we would know that. 2. Just because you are immortal does not mean anything more than ye shall not perish. It says nothing of the details of your lifestyle in immortality. What does it mean to be locked in a perpetual cage for eternity? The conditions of solitude may have been lifted, however I have seen several lions trapped in one cage and those born in captivity lack. 216 PAGE. The images to imagine what it was like to be free, thus they cannot conceive it and perceive the current condition has always been as such. They think they are really free, an illusion. This is what it also means not to fly and have hyperdimensional and extraspatial capability. You are grounded, your wings stripped, and you now think you always walked because you don't have images of you flying, except in your dreams, and you think they're just your imagination. The Most High said, I will make them in my image imagination, so thus your imagination is not to be taken lightly. Many think they have time, so they may give it another week. They are too weak, not knowing they are in a daze. They go about this for days, not knowing time does not actually exist for the immortal. Master knowledge is knowing that the movements of things hold great external knowledge, but there are parts of that knowledge that should never be placed internal, as it will affect the host as something foreign, changing the entire makeup of the host. Imagine if the sun never rose again, would people sleep all the time because it was dark? Of course not. However, people still consider when the sun goes up and then back down one day can be counted. They age themselves with ideas of their birthday, but we will not stray too far down the path of the wisdom of agelessness. It is known that the moon, better known by the ancients as Sin, was placed into our solar system at some point in time. However, it was not originally here. Many of the indigenous tribes who had already made contact with other constellations had maps that did not include the moon on them. Then at a certain time in history, all of a sudden the moon begins to appear on astrological outlines. One should understand the effects of this particular moon on this earth. The moon controls mood DS. The moon controls tides, the moon controls growth and thus decay, and most importantly things like gravity and magnetic energy. I noticed when the moon eclipses it is easy to get out of the body. So it is easy to see that there would be a big difference in the energy of our world if the moon was not here. Many do not know that the change would actually be positive. Many have done studies on the notion that the moon was somehow towed here, and by the size of many of the ships belonging to these entities that is entirely possible. So I know you may be saying the moon, okay, maybe it could be towed because it is not hot, but nothing can tow the sun. Today you will find information on a top-secret project known as the Lucifer Project. In this project an attempt is being made to detonate a plutonium payload into Saturn, thus causing it to go supernova and become a sun. Other planets have also been considered. This was already put into trial when NASA detonated the Cassini space probe with plutonium on board into Jupiter, creating a hole the size of Earth. The idea was to create a chain reaction. It is good that did not succeed, or maybe it did. It would then appear as if we had two suns in our sky, and we would begin to receive lots of planetary energy through the rays emitting from the new sun. One would have to look deeper into things to understand where man received this type of knowledge from. If our current sun was not transported here through black holes, it could have been another planet already, perhaps Vulcan, that had been given a boost by detonating various types of 217 PAGE elements that make planets go from frigid worlds of ice to suns. Let there be light. Our word ice comes from Isis. In their theories, men are suns and women are ice, not moons, two opposites. This entire matter becomes a little more difficult to exactly pinpoint due to the fact that most of us have never traveled into the cosmos, thus all the information we receive is second and third hand and surely altered. The elite of course have never been famous for telling the truth. Reason 162. There are so many habitable planetary bodies in space, it is hard to know what is going on until we have the opportunity to travel the cosmos, which can be done with a body. There are planets and beings that have long since graduated beyond such petty things as what we are now experiencing on Earth, thus we take notes from them. They are entirely self-sustained, like a person can become when they are fully unlocked. In these stages one does not need to eat food or breathe air, thus his or her higher dimensional imprint has reached a phase of totality. Once that phase has been reached you will awake. Currently most are asleep, literally walking around a dream world, a dream within a dream, or a TV displaying another TV displaying another TV ad infinite. Strong persistence is necessary to be revived out of such a debased state. Inside of you, there are those that want to work, those that want to play, and those that want to disrupt your work. Be mindful of which. 218 PAGE. One is controlling you. There is the world, you, and the outer forces. You must consider your arrival, transition, and breakthroughs. Your states are physical, emotional,